Hey YouTube, Daniel here from the home of Brandon Productions 2.0 with another fire alarm tutorial video in regards to the different prototypes that I've managed to learn and make here in Minecraft. And in the last two videos I showed you guys the, push button style pull station system and the lever style pull station system, the differences between the bell and note block type of audibles, the difference with like the redstone light and the red glass and all that goes with it. Now, to get more into the complicated portions of the circuit, we were going to build the the annunciators, so you can technically reset the system from a front entrance of a building. So for starters, let's get some items. For the wall, you can probably use just about anything you guys want. I don't think glass would be a fitting thing for it, but I'll use red just to keep with the red being fire alarm code. We'll need a button, redstone, a lot of that too. So we'll probably need, I'm not sure if we'll need a redstone torch just yet. Redstone block, redstone that. You could use observer. For those of you who don't know what an observer is, it essentially, the face thing here is like a little face. It essentially detects movement in front of it. When something changes, it allows for two pulses to be emitted from the device. That in itself is cool, but of course the double pulse thing can screw up a specific circuit and then kind of not go according to plan. But there is a way to allow for it to work one way. So we'll put the annunciator wall thing here, and we'll be able to do a couple of different types of designs here. So we'll keep it like that. So for starters, we'll have a button, and depending on what you want it to do, there's going to be multiple buttons and multiple spacing. So if you wanted a signal silence, system reset, audio tester, floor paging, which is a whole another concept in itself, which will need to be a bigger wall. So the bigger, the more buttons you want, the more circuits you want to be activated from your enunciating panel, the bigger the wall is going to need to be. So keep that in mind. The bigger the building, the bigger the structure, the more complicated this wall is going to get. Some people are simple, some people are not. Heck, it's up to you as a Minecrafter, and I'm here to support you as best as I can. And as always, if you want help with those builds, let me know. I'm always down to play in other people's games. So the idea here for this is, so an annunciator essentially just tells you what's going on in that building or origin. So usually there's a panel that will have like a little screen that tells you the location, a zone. You can't really get that detailed in Minecraft, but you can make it work, such as having different redstone lights turn on and things like that, such as an activation light and a signal light. So we'll put, much like in the Home Depot fire system, we had a light that signified the system was on, and then we had a light that flashes signifying that the audibles were on. So we have a permanent lit light, and then we had a strobing light. So we'll do that design, and yeah. And then in one other version, we had like the observer doing some lights, and I kind of think a little red flashy light's kind of cool too. So that's usually what you'd see more, is red flashy lights. So we'll do that too. Okay, what we need to do here now is we need to figure out, we need to be able to do how to reset from here. So the way it works is that water can be used to displace things out of the way. So what I mean by, if you have an egg that's being used as the 5-minute timer, then the water would flow by and push the egg off and then fall into a pit. Pretty much is what I mean. So we need to relocate this redstone circuit, the activation circuit. So we'll probably do something like this, where we go more behind. We want to go to here. straight through here. It's kind of hard when I don't want to damage too much. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we're gonna go straight through. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, perfect. So, well, we need a repeater. Just to carry the signal farther. And we'll go from there. Boom. Now we should put this red thing here. Sorry about the disorganized look here. Okay, activation. Boom, boom. Done, done. Okay, so that will come out. And here we go. So we can actually technically break this whole entire circuit, as we don't really need this anymore. So this is what I meant by the ability to run things underground. Just give yourself the space to do so, and you're good to go. This would need to be replaced, as we would need to be able to run this for our signaler here. That's fine. Which would be here. Boom. Just remembered that we changed this one to the manual pull lever in the last video. There. So this will need to be replaced to a button as well. This will be our pull station. Okay, we got that going there, and just to make it more, we need something. Let's do a no block so we're not. Bells are louder, actually, in my opinion. They're way louder and more annoyinger. Okay, let's just do all this no blocks. Why not? Because we can. Alright, do that. That probably get a little complicated. Does this work like this? I can't remember. Ah, okay. Actually, I don't need that many. Alright, we'll keep the glass there. Okay, so we got our audible, we got our strobe, got our wiring management. Okay, and to the annunciator. So, let's build the water circuit. So for now, we need to cover this housing here, so we're not destroying any of the electrical stuff. And then what we do is we do this, and then you're going to put this alone. Might work, it might not work. It has its moments. So we need to put a dispenser. We'll get glass out so you guys can see how this works in terms of from a more visible perspective. That's kind of what I do, is I do the glass so you know it works properly. We can get rid of the block. Alright, put glass here. Boom. Done. Okay. And then we need glass here. Here. This one needs to be here. This one needs to be here. Here. And like this. Remember to keep that opening so you can access that. This doesn't need to be covered. That's it. Open. And then this will need to just be. See the. You gotta be careful where you dig with that, just because of the wiring. Okay. Now let's cover that up. Alright, so we're good, and then we'll just need to set up water. Interesting how we're using water in an electronic circuit. Okay, water up. And then put that there. Okay, so without kind of getting in the way, let's see if we can make this work. Repair it that way. Okay. Done. Alright. So, we'll need to run the wire 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's about 15 as far as you can go. I like to do it at like 10s. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Put that here. Gotta remember which one's the repeater. There you go. This goes here, here, here. Boom, done. Okay. We can put the button back. Boom. Okay. And we should be able to test it. All right. Okay. Cool. Just make sure that's running. Okay. Perfect. So send another pulse, turn it off. Okay, how to do the pulse. So in order to turn off the water, we'll have to just allow for another signal to go through. And by doing that, we can do something like this. You can even use repeaters for it, just because it's probably the best thing in your interest to use them. And so we'll go like this, and just make the delays as much as you want. We'll just do three ticks for each. And so essentially what happens is this will go straight through here, churn on the water will, you know, hopefully get rid of the egg, and then this signal will come across here and then turn off the dispenser. So it should work like this. Alright, let's replay that. It's a little fast. Alright, boom. Done. See? So that's the key to making that work. We can now attempt to make and see it for the audible part. Here we go. That should all connect. So we got the egg there, right? And now if we push the button, boom. That's how it's done. So I find it works fine with one dispenser. Don't cover the top here. If you want to encase this, just make sure to go up another block or so and allow for as much room away from the redstone signal going under the pressure plate, unless you have plans to come from the other side and the signal goes that way. But just keep it underground, it's simpler. Okay, so we have that, and now we want some form of, there we go, test that again. I love this. This is so awesome. Done. All right, so now to make this a bit more lively, so we'll do, what we can do here is one of these will be like constantly on to acknowledge the signal is on. Actually, I don't need to do that from here, and I can do this like this. So pretty much it's getting power from the switch, this one here. Okay, so we need to just run this like this, run that over, put a repeater here, and then da 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 da, and then a repeater, and then you could do the glass technique of, you know, the middle, bump, bump, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So that will be constantly lit, and then we can do where these two will flash. And for the observer, all you gotta do is simply have the redstone in front of it. No big deal. The block one, I don't think it's just as simple as having a redstone run it beside it. I have to kind of do this just to make sure that works, because yeah, you see what I mean? It doesn't. Okay. So to fix that, we can kind of do this. Put a repeater here, a block, and then if I'm correct, it should go through. Yeah, okay. So that's how that would work. And you pretty much need to just get this to the looping circuit, or you can actually put your own looper here if you wanted to, but this will at least will tell you what pace the audio is going if you had to speed up for full evacuation, which we'll have to get into another on another video, because it's probably like long enough. So we'll do this, and then that sorry, oops, wrong spot. It's hard. One thing about the red block, it's hard to tell where the redstone is. So it depends on how you want to go about it. I feel like if you use red for color coding purposes, if someone's accidentally digging in your area, they don't, you know, break vital lines. For example, I use green glass, and green block relates for power, which is like lighting and things like that. And I use red glass for the majority of fire alarms, and then I use yellow for strobes. I'll use, blue for sprinklers. So it all depends on how your color schemes work, but those are pretty generic colors in terms of what you'd see in a typical building that's in real life. And here we go. Give her a test. Boom. Lights on, activated, done. Boom. That is so awesome. So that's essentially what it is. Again, I think the observer looks cooler from just the standard redstone light. If you know what I mean, it's more aesthetically in terms of what an actual fire system looks like. And here we go. Reset the system. What happened? Let's try that again. Well, that was a fail. All right, let's try that again. Boom, done. Lights turn on, active. There you go. That's what that looks like from behind here. And it's just flashing. Okay, and sure. Is that too far? What's up with that? Oh, it's probably my eggs on the floor. I can see why that's not working. Interesting. Okay, now it's working. It's probably unsynchronized for a minute, or there's probably one too many eggs. Okay, well that's the gist of that. Thank you for watching this tutorial on the many different prototypes of my fire alarm system. And again, we just only touched the basic activation, which is pull stations. We still have yet to get into proper detection, and if you haven't caught on, most of that detection will be with observers, such as fire. Anyways, thank you for the support, and as always, like, comment, subscribe. I will definitely try to help you guys out, and if you guys want to add these in your builds, and we'll keep in touch. See you on the next one. Daniel out. Bye for now.